Okay. Welcome, everybody. This is zirochka. Thank you for coming from Ukraine to participate in your very first HiveFest. How is it going so far for you?
Hello, everyone. I'm really excited to be here. This is my first meetup, and I'm a speaker. This is a start, and I met so many kind people, nice people yesterday, and I'm really impressed with the event.
Okay, can you tell us a bit more about your story on Hive, how you did discover the platform, what you are blogging about, and which community you are involved in?
My friend, Yue Digger, brought me to Steam 5 years ago. Now he volunteered to the armed forces and defends our country. I came to Steam with a secret dream to save my payouts and buy a nice camera or maybe a cool lens for it one day. I was excited about travels even before I learned the word. Besides, I really like to tell stories about my trips abroad and about Ukraine, and photography just helped me to tell my stories. Hive communities is where I always learning and discovering new things. I always enjoyed Travel Feed and Pin Maple, and also a Wednesday Walk and Market Fridays, black and white photography lovers, and street art, and many others. And of course, I'm always watching Team Ukraine.
Wow, that's a lot of communities. I know that you have come to tell us about tragic events that are happening in your country. But before that, could you tell us a bit about how it happens just before the war broke out?
I remember very good the evening of the day before. My hubby and I went to the cinema for the last session. They showed the big hit. I needed just to relieve stress because and escape my anxious thoughts. I didn't believe that it should be an open war and invasion, but everyone were talking about if whether there would be a war or not. After the movie, we caught last train and we were walking home, and the streets were so quiet. And I told to my husband, what a nice evening. It was about five hours left to the start of the war. And when I woke up maybe a few minutes before the air raid, and I woke up to the terrible roar of planes over us, and I thought it were Russian planes. And then I heard the siren, and I immediately knew what happened.
And then the war broke out. And how you and your husband decided to stay in Kiev? I was looking for the right person to live my life with for many years. And I moved 13 times in my life. And when I finally find my place and my person, I'm not going to give it up. And besides, this is our home and this is our land. So I wasn't prepared, and I even didn't pack an alarm backpack. I didn't have a plan. We spent the first day in preparations. Nick went to fill the full tank and to get some cash, and I stayed at home trying to call my daughter on the phone and my mom, who was in hospital after the surgery on her heart. I prepared some food because I wasn't sure if we will have a gas or electricity or water in a few next days.
And on the next morning, Nick said that he can't stay aside and he going to join a territory defense. He never served in army, unlike other Ukrainian men, but in those days, this was the only way to get a weapon for civilians to defend themselves and the city. And on the next day, he called me and said that volunteers are badly needed and their unit's location. And I agreed without hesitation to join, because it was a million times better than sitting at home in darkness alone, shuddering and listening at every loud sound. This is how I became a volunteer for the first time in my life. And those people helped me to overcome my fear, and I helped them to serve our brave guys.
Mm-hmm. And apart from the fact that you decided to stay both to help people in your country, you also decided to stay connected with Hive and to tell us your story. What was your motivation to do so?
On the very first day, I wrote my first post about the war. I was scared and confused, and my post was short. It contrasted deeply with what my followers used to, and I didn't know how they would react. But it was really important to say the truth to the people outside of Ukraine. Any day could be the last one, so it was really important.
And what kind of reaction did you get from the community? Did that help you to struggle with daily things?
I was prepared for disappointments, even for claim of lying or whatever. But to my surprise, I got many votes and comments from my followers, but also from strangers. And this encouraged me to write the next post. And then I remember it like a big wave of support. I had no idea what are all these kind of people, and how do they know about me? Actually, I had no time to think and analyze. I had barely time to update my blog and to respond to a few comments. But I think that was my way to not go insane and to not drown in helplessness and anxiety and despair.
And how do you felt and reacted to such generosity from people from the community?
I was impressed with the number of generous and heartwarming and open-hearted people. They started to send tips and donations even before asked for, and also the list of needs was endless. When I posted my first request, I didn't believe in success, but in vain, because the result was really impressive. It was like a miracle.
Okay. Before going further, while we were preparing this presentation, I'll ask you one question. If you had to choose one and only one pictures about the war in Ukraine, which one would it be? And this is the picture you choose from Azovstal. Can you tell us what's the meaning of this picture for you? Sorry.
For me, this picture is about hope, about living, willing to live, about love for life, and a call for help. This is, and about courage, a great courage. This is my feelings and feelings of all Ukrainians, all we go through.
Okay. So you mentioned the NFT for Peace project. For those who don't know, NFT for Peace is a project when you can buy badges on the Hive bus. You go to your board and you buy badges, and all the money collected has been sent to Zirochka, and then she dispatched it as money to a pupil. So when I contacted you on behalf of the Hive bus team to help us with this project, how did you felt?
When you contacted me, when I received the message, it was a big surprise, because I'm just an ordinary blogger, even not as sociable too much. So I was even a little bit alarmed at first. And then you explained me the idea. NFT team will prepare badges, and they just need a person in Ukraine to send the money to. And of course, it was a great honor, but also a great responsibility to the whole community. To find a closest way and the most trusted way to help people in need, and to assure full reporting and accuracy. Of course, I agreed, and the sense returned to my life again.
And did the NFT for Peace project really help people in Ukraine?
Quite so. Many Ukrainians fled Ukraine and are now in Europe. But the thing is that the poorest people remained, because sometimes you need money, a lot of money, to leave the occupied territories. So these people continue living under shelling, under daily shelling, helping each other with repairing and finding food and preparing food. I don't mention medicine. They have no medicine and no chance for this. Their modest homes are all they have, so they still need help until the war ends.
Okay, and how is the situation at the moment? Do you think that NFT for Peace could still be a useful project for you?
Yes, of course. NFT is needed, because state just cannot cope with all this, and sometimes this volunteers is the only hope of these people. And I think all these stories of volunteers and real survivors really changed me. And once you hear these stories, they don't let go for you. And I know that I will not stop. I will continue at any cost to help, to do my best to help people in my country.
Dear Zirochka, unfortunately, the time that we have is coming to an end. We could listen to you for hours, but do you have something you would like to add and to say to people of the community that are watching us in stream, or to the people here in the audience?
First, I want to thank you for the idea of NFT project, and for your submission, and for sustaining me on the way here, and your guidance. And then also from the beginning of the war, Hive suddenly turned out into to be something much more than just a blogging. Something more real, that a community of real possibilities that can cross the world to reach out and to change someone's life, and maybe even to save lives. And my dream was to show my appreciation and to say thank you all from the behalf of me and all Ukrainians. Thank you. You are amazing.
Okay, so go to your HiveFest board, buy some badges. You will help real people. Thank you all, and please, big ovation for Zirochka for coming here.